meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
And welcome to Open Mic America. I'm Capo Dave, and I'm joined by show engineers Penny and Rob, and interview host Rich Fassler. Our mission is to support. You're making me laugh, Rich. Our mission is to support the local open mics, your local open mic, and it's our pleasure to present the more accomplished musicians that frequent these events. Without any frills or gimmicks, this is the beating heart of American music. That's what Daphne always said. I always say that if it's not the beating heart of American music, it'll have to do until the other one gets here. Okay, so I want to introduce our lineup for the night in the order of playing. We have Gillis Mills from Grafton, Vermont. Where are you, Gillis? Give us a wave. Okay. Steve Anderson from Alameda, California. Hey, Steve. And Brian Eyre from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. Rich Fassler from sunny Bainbridge Island, Washington. Got his Hawaiian shirt on. Mike Simpson from Saratoga, California joins us. Glenn Murshell from Monroe, North Carolina. Hey, Glenn, good to see you. And Jennifer McQuaid's going to bring us home. Jennifer's from Auburn, Maine. Without further ado, let's take her away. Gillis, what do you have for us?
Hi. Can you hear me okay? I wrote this song in honor of my former wife, the mother of our 3 children, it being Mother's Day, so I called this song Her Way. Things came too easy for the third daughter of 3. Most beautiful, most popular, and a cheerleader too. And so she married a rebel who was poor and misguided to prove to the world she could do things her way. And she did for a long time, with a home and 3 children, never once looking back to see where she'd been. The rebel she married spent his life working, chasing after the American dream. Oh, she was neglected and deeply affected by things that happened along her life's way. No one was stronger, no one ever fought longer than Mickey did to do things her way. Now she was an artist, a wife and a mother. She'd show the world she could do things her way. Her rebel left early. Oh, the children soon followed, leaving her on her own, an artist nomad. While others sought comfort in the sweet relaxations, she sweat in a foundry with men half her age. It was no longer easy. Turned down help which was offered. She needed the blessings one finds in good friends. An angel came for her. It was not unexpected. She gave her life to do things her way. No one was stronger, no one ever fought longer than Mickey did to do things her way.
Wow. Beautiful song.
Wow.
Quick correction, folks, our interview host is Evan Acey, and I forgot, my bad, to interview Aniwa Ferrari, who will be playing second. So
All right.
carry on, Gillis.
I'm just doing that one song tonight. Thanks. It's a long song.
Very well. Next on the list is Aniwa Ferrari. Again, apologies for neglecting you there.
So how would you like to move to an interview with Gillis at the moment and then move to Aniwa? Hi, Gillis. How you doing tonight?
I'm fine.
You know, I am really struck by
This has been a fun time listening to all.
yeah,
Capo Dave particularly.
you know, live is really the best thing. I just love it. You know, it's raw, it's real, it's live. Open Mic America, and it is the beating heart of American music, isn't it? You know, so Gillis, I'm really taken by the photograph in the background that you have of what looks like a very young boxer. It's a little bit
No, it was my. It's actually a photograph of my dad when he was. I'm guessing maybe, possibly 2 years old. He was the
wow.
old. He was the oldest of. He was the original Gillis Mills, by the way. That was his birth name. Two of his three names, anyway. But yeah, he was the oldest of 14 kids. Of on a East Texas sharecropping farm. He went along. He was his life story is amazing. I'm not going to get into it, but he was an amazing character, and that's him, by the way.
I
So
yeah, I was going to say it looks like somebody very young, and it looks like it would
yeah,
be a family
it
picture.
was.
I'm glad that you have that.
They must have thought his mother was like 15 years old. You know, when she gave birth to him, and so I guess they thought. I mean, if you imagine they're they're being sharecroppers. I mean, they probably had a dirt floored cabin that they lived in. I don't know that, but pretty primitive. And so this photograph had to have been a major investment for them, you know, to dress him like that and to have a photograph, frame it, and all everything about it is original.
Hmm.
So I value it very much. I like it. So I thought it would be fun to have it. I have a lot of photographs and drawings and stuff, but this is particularly valuable to me personally. You know.
I appreciate that your family has taken such good care of it to have it in that shape, and
Yeah, it's
you know, family connections are so important. I'm glad that you're sharing that with us. You know, even if it was silent,
yeah.
I'm glad to have brought it out. So, you know, I find that you're originally from Houston. Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Houston, Texas. Yeah.
And so then also I found that you had performed a lot in New York City and you ended up in Grafton, Vermont, where you are now. And
Well,
it's like three really big geographical
yeah,
different
and I
places.
use that. I'm really glad that I have the cultural a difference. You know, I grew up in different cultures, and I left. I got ambitious in Texas, and wanted to compete in New York City. Not musically, you know. I was a different, doing something else, and actually, I was a so-called creative guy in advertising, and I had gotten some national recognition, and I wanted to compete with the guys that I knew were better than anybody, you know, that I was competing with, and I wanted to compete with them, and so I moved to New York, and I was there. I lived in Manhattan and worked in Manhattan. Was on location a lot doing films and stuff, but then I retired and took up music. I mean, I just, you know, and I discovered Vermont, and I retired and moved to Vermont. So I was a resident of the city for 40 years, almost 40, 37 years. So, but I was split from my youth in Texas to most of my adulthood in New York City, Manhattan, and downtown in the Village, by the way. Which when I got into music, I had played music a little bit when I was a kid, very very young, and then I rekindled that several decades later, and but where I lived in the Village was a perfect place to be, you know, learning guitar. And the guy that I bought this guitar from taught me. I had like 3 lessons from him, and then I decided I wanted to get more into blues instead of folk, you know, and finger picking and stuff. And then Frank Christian was his name. He passed a while back, a number of years ago, but a terrific New York finger picking pro for decades, and then I studied with a blues guy named Bobby Radcliffe for a little while. I had like 5 lessons from him, and then I just went off and did my own stuff and just wrote. I wanted to write, you know, because I had a bunch of experiences and stuff, and I like grappling with words, so it worked. So
Excellent.
it's fun, you know,
Well, good.
challenging.
We're glad you ended up as a musician, and equally as happy that Capo Dave actually found you, and however you found us. And it's good to have you. Um,
Thanks.
we'll look forward to hearing from you again.
Thanks.
So now let's turn this back over to Capo Dave Williams.
All right.
Thanks so much, Gillis and Evan. Next up, Aniwa Ferrari from Olympia, Washington. What do you got for us, Aniwa?
Well, I've got a couple songs. I just finished up. I've been writing a song a week since the beginning of 2021, and I just finished up a fun project called Letters from Sisyphus, which is based on or inspired by Greek mythology. And Sisyphus is the narrator. He's that guy who pushes the boulder up the hill all the time. Every one of us feels like Sisyphus now and again, feeling like we're involved in an eternal thankless task. And I tried to find two good mom songs, but one of them's on mandolin. So I have a good dad song, and then I'll finish with a good mom song for Mother's Day. But this one's called Midas. He was that guy who turned everything to gold that he touched. Golden crown and a golden throne, golden silence in an empty home, blinding sunlight shines down a golden hall. We who climb too high are bound to fall, bound to fall. Burdens heavy on your weary head, sheets like golden waves upon your unmade bed. We asked for more, though we had it all. We who climb too high are bound to fall, bound to fall. Flowers lost their fragrance long ago. She's in the garden still, cold as mountain snow. And summer rain forms tears upon her golden frown. We push these troubles up, but they keep on tumbling down, tumbling down. Sing this song now for the voices. I thought I was clever too. The sun will rise upon your choices. All that glitters isn't you, isn't you. Isn't you? Isn't you? Isn't you?
Very cool. Very
Beautiful.
cool. Very-
Beautiful song.
I like stuff.
So this other song, I'm gonna move this capo down here. Just double check and make sure that I'm still more or less in tune. That looks pretty good. All right, so this is in the same project, so inspired by Greek mythology, and this is a story of Demeter and Persephone. Demeter is the goddess of the harvest, and Persephone was her daughter. Persephone got tricked into staying in Hades, but in this version of the song, Persephone would rather be with her true love in Hades, but decides, out of the goodness of her heart, to spend 9 months of the year with her mother so that it's not an eternal winter up here on the surface. So this is Demeter and Persephone. Plant 1, 2, 3 seeds to make your garden grow. One for love forgotten, one for the loneliness you know. One more for the day your daughter finally comes back home. Eat 1, 2, 3 seeds to bind your love to him. One to make your heart a furnace when the snows are settling in. One more to last the winter, one to fill you till the brim. journeys up the hill. You love the fall and I the climb. And when the nights are dark and cold and still, that's when you most brightly shine. That's when you most brightly shine. That's when you most brightly shine. That's when you most brightly shine.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Wonderful, Aniwa. Welcome back to the Open Mic America stage.
Thank you. It's my first time here, really.
I've seen you on another online open mic before because you're very memorable. In fact, I have enjoyed your catalog on your YouTube channel, and you know, one of the things that really stands out to me very quickly is you are predominantly a finger style guitarist, but you do a lot of strumming, but yet I have never seen you play with a flat pick.
No, I leave that to Molly Tuttle, I guess. One thing at a time. I'm working on my finger style. I really enjoy that style, and I like to mix it up by strumming. But yeah, flat picking's not something I've tried to take on yet.
Gotcha. Well, so a couple of weeks ago, you said that you wanted to try and break away from all the time that you were putting into telling the story of Letters from Sisyphus. And so you put out a wonderful song, Sunflower Starship.
Mm-hmm.
And can you talk to us about the process of a project like you're getting with Letters, and then, you know, what inspired you to want to kind of take a little bit of a break, and then how to get into something slightly different?
Yeah, well, so this Letters from Sisyphus project wasn't necessarily intentional. I kind of stumbled upon it. I wrote the first song, Narcissa, which was just sort of meant to be maybe a one-off about how I had maybe a habit of falling in love with narcissists. And it became this song is sort of inspired by Greek mythology, and it's like, oh, I should follow this and see where it goes. And so it ended up becoming a 9-song arc, and I just try and be really intuitive and listen to sort of my internal muse about when I should follow a thread and when it was done. So that project took up 9 songs, and I sort of felt like I got to the end of it, and I wrote Sisyphus there at the end. And then it felt like it was time to move on. And so I actually gave myself a week, which, like I said, I've been writing a song a week. So taking a week off isn't that usual, but I took a week off to sort of reset my brain, and then came back and wrote Sunflower Starship, which was based on a prompt I had in a workshop to write about a plant, but then also about the SpaceX Starship launch. and really wanting to use that rapid unscheduled disassembly line in a song, which I had to throw in there. So yeah.
I love it. Thank you. So you brought up something that I did want to ask you about as well, and that is a song a week. So what was the inspiration for picking that timeline, and how's that working out?
So the inspiration was probably because most of the sort of like online communities around songwriting on a given time frame are song a week communities. There's February album writing month, which is sort of a one-off thing, but there's a song a week Reddit. There's a songaweek.org if you want to join that group. So there's a lot of groups sort of built around supporting each other to write a song a week. So it seemed like a good meter, and it seemed achievable for me. Like I work full-time as a librarian at a college, and so writing a song every day doesn't feel achievable to me, but writing a song a week does. Like I can sort of think about the creative process throughout the week and sort of pick a day where I sort of spend the time like doing the grunt work of songwriting. So yeah, it was partially the online communities that support it, and partially what I thought that I could achieve given my own schedule. And it's been going well. I've missed weeks here and there, but for the most part, since the beginning of 2021, I have achieved it. So I'm closing in on maybe 150 songs, which is they're not all wonderful, but I'm just excited. I think once you sort of get yourself invested in the process, it becomes a lot easier, and you become a better songwriter through it.
Excellent. Very good. Well, we're glad that you found your way to the Open Mic America stage. Welcome to the Open Mic America family, and we do look forward to hearing from you again.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Now back to Capo Dave Williams.
Thank you, Evan. That was wonderful, Aniwa. Next up is Steve Anderson from Alameda. Steve is one of our regulars on Open Mic America and joins us on our little local open mic. Take it away, Steve.
Hello, everyone. I think I'm unmuted, but there's a sign that says unmute myself. Can you all hear me?
You're audible, Steve.
Ah, okay. I wasn't sure. All right, so today I'm going to draw from some autobiographical sources, beginning with a song about my grandfather's Oldsmobile, which I coveted when I was younger. And then I'll follow it with a Mother's Day appropriate song, which turns out to be purely autobiographical. There's not a word of fiction in it. But we'll get to that after Grandpa's Oldsmobile. Well, I was just a boy of 10, and I loved it way back then. But Grandpa passed away, and it was old. And it was 1952, back when Grandpa bought it new. Bright cherry red and lovely to behold. And going anywhere was great in Grandpa's old Rocket 88. Grandpa was a man who loved to drive. Well, if the stories are believed, it's where my dad had been conceived. Shortly after, there'd be tin cans tied behind. But though Gramps would never have sold it on his death, my dad controlled it. My request to have it saved had been declined. But going anywhere'd be great in that old Rocket 88 was a car it seems I'd never get to drive. But that old Rocket 88 was used on Mom and Dad's first date. It had a history of the best in family fun. And that old car that I adore had secretly been stored. They never told me restoration had begun. Another chance would be so great to get that old Rocket 88. I had no idea my dream was still alive. It got a total restoration, high-powered motor installation, seat belts, power brakes, power steering. So many things had been upgraded, well, I was way beyond elated. Down the street, the neighbors all could hear me cheering. And now my life is really great, driving that old Rocket 88. Like my grandpa, I'm a man who loves to drive. Well, it's a classic and a jewel, a neat old car that's really cool. A ride that simply dazzles everyone. Got all fixed up for me, so my duty is plain to see, to make it perfect, so I can give it to my son.
Yay!
Great lyric.
I relate to that one. That's good.
Awesome.
So, what I'm about to sing, I wrote a while back and couldn't perform it because it was so close to home I'd get choked up every time I tried to sing it. But I think I'm past that now, so I hope I can get through this all right. It's quite dear to me. I was born with ADHD back when nobody knew what it was, and getting me to go to sleep at night was a bit of a challenge, but my mom came up with an opera recording played on the old 78 wind-up Victrola, and that worked, and she used that for a couple of years. The only thing that would make me sleep, nothing else worked. So I wrote this about that. She had an old wind-up Victrola to help me get to sleep. I was a hyperactive infant, kinda difficult to keep. But music was my mother's love and soon was part of me. And that old wind-up Victrola was a cherished memory. Verdi's Celeste Aida was the tune she always played. It's a beautiful rendition I remember to this day. She wore out 14 copies, getting me to close my eyes. A loving gesture to be sure, but proof that she was wise. Music in her love is what carries me along. Without the music in her heart, my life would have no song. By the time that I was 4, I was a rowdy little boy, but that old wind-up Victrola had become my favorite toy. There were other things I played with, most of which I wrecked, but that old wind-up Victrola was a thing that got respect. Now, Mom, was taken from me when I was only 7. I don't know if there is one, but if there is, she's up in heaven. Irreplaceable and priceless was the love that she always showed. And everything that's any good about me is the gift that she bestowed. The music in her love is what carries me along. Without the music in her heart, my life would have no song. Now my life is filled with music, always makes me smile. I collect it any way that I can. I'm a hopeless audiophile. That old wind-up Victrola, long since left behind, but the joy that it instilled in me will never leave my mind. Music in her love is what carries me along, but it's the music in her heart will always be my favorite song.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Beautiful.
Evan?
I gotta tell you, Steve, I've had the privilege of sharing the OMA stage with you now. I think this is probably the 5th time. And I've always just really dug the music that you play, but you showed a side of yourself tonight. I would buy that album. I mean, you really have a good sense of telling your story in a way that puts pictures in the mind of the listener and puts you right there. I mean, it was very wonderful. And so as a guy who loves cars too, so you say that was autobiographical. So who took the time to restore that car and keep it secret from you?
Well, see, the song is a pretty serious fabrication. I wanted the car. I was in the Navy. My grandfather died. My father sold the car to the nearest used car dealer, and that was the end of it. But I thought there was a song in there, so I wrote one.
Absolutely, and there truly was. I love your imagination, you really brought us into it. You could have told me further into the story and even showed a picture of one, and I would buy that it was it. Good job, and wonderful. You're in very good form tonight with your guitar picking, and then the second song the same, and I could relate so much with what you were saying. That's the one thing that it's almost a bittersweet thing about some songs. They are so sweet that they just well up in you, and they bring the tears, and you have to actually play it enough to where you choke down that feeling, and that bittersweet quality is there as a songwriter, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't write very much in that vein, and maybe because of that. I don't know. I done a lot of political songs, which ultimately got to be too easy and too depressing, quite frankly. And now I'm trying to learn how to play some blues. I was just a dead serious fan of Michael Bloomfield years ago. He just really had a nice touch, and I'm trying to emulate that. And that's been something of a challenge, but I'm loving doing it. So
Yeah, and it's showing you're putting the time in it, and like I say, your chops are good. And so if there was an opportunity for somebody to say, I felt what you intended when you wrote that song, if that nobody has taken that opportunity, let me be one of the first. And encourage you to keep going down that way. Like I say, you get 7, 9, 10, 11 songs on a CD, and Evan's buying Steve Anderson's CD. That's really good music. So now I don't remember if we've talked about your guitar before. Was that a custom build? What are you playing tonight?
Oh, well, I have actually, uh, I started out, goes back to 1963. I had a 12 string, which I still have and I still play. And the nut on that guitar is 2 inches wide. And for me to play a regular D18 or a D28, the strings are too close together. I can't play it. It's terrible. So I've been looking for guitars that have a wider fretboard. And Martin makes a few of them, and they're pricey. And I buy as many as I can. I've got actually 4 Martins that have that wide fretboard. This one is my Hawaiian one, which I bought at a remarkably good price because the guy who was selling it for a friend, and the guy who was selling it was also an electric guitar player, and he thought the guitar was no good because the action was too high. Well, if you're if you're playing Strats, an acoustic guitar action is too high. So he knocked the price way down from what it should have been, and nobody wanted to even look at the guitar. I went and looked at it, and I thought the action was perfect, so I bought it.
Great. So was it in slack key tuning when you got it, being Hawaiian, or did they have it in
Oh,
standard?
no, no, no! It's Hawaiian by virtue of the wood. It's koa
Uh-huh.
wood
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
throughout, except for the neck and the fretboard. But the top and the sides and the back are all koa.
Yeah, have you noticed sometimes a musician's guitar really matches their voice, and sometimes you hear that a guitar, like, I don't know if you're like me, but like I have a couple of guitars that play really nice, but there are some that my voice and that guitar just are in the pocket together, like really good close friends. And that guitar to me actually has that with your voice as well, that lended
Oh,
to the great performance that you
oh,
gave.
good. I I never know about these things. I just put it out there, and if somebody likes it, then I try and do it again. So
Well, good on you, Steve. Welcome back to the Open Mic America stage.
thank you
Look
so
forward
much.
to
It's
seeing
always
you
a
here
joy.
again. Thank you. And
Okay.
now back to you, Capo Dave Williams.
Thank you, Evan, and thank you, Steve, for your heartfelt songs. Love your stuff. Just love it. Next up, we have Brian Eyre from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. What have you got for us tonight, Brian?
Why, thank you. Very glad to be here again. And so I thought I would start the evening with we're out of the winter time now, but it reminded me of home and my mother and my wife, both when it was really snowy out, you'd come back and you'd have like a cup of hot chocolate and you couldn't go to school and you had the day off. So anyway, this song is called 3 Feet Deep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, another thing. Being a parent is not for the faint of heart, and so if I look back at my parents, and particularly my mom, in order to get through that, you got to do a lot of the tough stuff. And this song is called Tough Stuff.
Wow.
All right.
Fantastic. Evan.
Ryan Air, welcome back to the Open Mic America stage. So speaking of tough stuff, the last time that you and I shared the stage together, I asked you about your guitar, and it was a new purchase, and I specifically asked you if you had chosen the tone top because of durability for your percussive playing, to which your response was, no, actually, that wasn't a part of my decision, but I hope that it will. So
Right.
that was several months and many songs ago, I imagine. How is it holding up?
Well, it holds up quite well. I'm really surprised at how well this guitar does. The one thing I would say is, playing this sort of thing here, if I had it to do over again, I would get a clear pickguard here and here.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, the guitar, I have to say, I love this guitar. and it just suits this kind of playing.
Yeah, I love the story that you had told about that. I know that you can purchase those aftermarket and have them installed on there, just as an FYI. But
I thought about doing that actually. I might do that, but the sort of the scratches are already under there, you know. So I don't know how well it would adhere. But I have thought about doing that just to give gets a longer life, out of the guitar.
uh-huh. So the tone that you're getting out of there, and with the effects that you have on, they're very reminiscent to me of a tone wood amplifier, if you've had a chance to put one of those inside of an acoustic guitar. But I don't.
I have one. I've got the magnet in here, although I'm not using it now.
Okay, yeah, yep. So I knew I had picked up on that, somewhere in there that was happening.
Right.
Even though it wasn't connected now, I had a sense about that.
Now I do I am using an effect. It's a Walrus Audio Slow, SLO, and that's a beautiful reverb box.
For the music that you're playing, it was a very good match, and so I wanted to compliment you on what you had picked up in there. Yeah. So I think it was 1 year ago this month you released an album, and I wanted to ask how did that album do in the marketplace, and when do you expect that your next body of work is going to be released?
Well, the 10-piece puzzle is actually the second album. First one was Study of Hands, and I released that to streaming services as singles.
Oh.
Honestly, and it did reasonably well. I'm just starting to put the plan together for the third record, which I think I want to call Third Journey.
Mm.
And so and the first one that I played is actually from 10-piece puzzle. The second one that I played was actually from the first one, Study of Hands. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to recording again. And the last record I did the engineering, but sent it up to a really great fingerstyle guitar player in his own right, really outstanding. But he does mixing and mastering, has his own studio, and he's just got the touch. And his name is Antoine Dufour. I don't know if you're familiar with him. If you like fingerstyle instrumentals and you get a chance, he's really worth a listen. But his mixing and mastering are really, really good.
Super. Well, thank you again for gracing the Open Mic America stage with your song. Look forward to hearing more from you on that.
Thank you.
And now back to you, Capo Dave.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you, Evan, and thank you, Brian, for your songs. Very interesting and exciting. You really have to listen for what's coming, because it's going all over the place. I like it. Okay, next up we have Rich Fassler, who is also one of our team at OMA, hence my confusion at the beginning of the show. That's my excuse. Okay,
That's your
Rich.
story.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Sticking
Thank
to
you.
it, yeah.
Go ahead, Rich.
I thought, like I said, I chatted with you. I thought I was going to have to interview myself, and that wouldn't have been pretty, because I know where all the the bad stories are. Hey, anyway, thank you so much for allowing me to come on here and play a couple of tunes. It is a hot day on Bainbridge Island. If you've heard me on here before, I always moan about the weather, but it is like summer time. I'm looking. It's 83 degrees outside, and it's like 81 degrees in my little office studio here. So anyway, got my Hawaiian shirt on, and I am ready to embrace the beautiful weather here on Bainbridge Island. So if you're thinking of coming, now's the time to come. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of songs here. One actually introduced about a year ago on here, the first one, and the second one is a little newer. So here we go. This one is called This Little Song for You. Hello, morning. It's 8 o'clock. Sweatshirts on, I'm out for a walk. Smiling at people, stopping to talk. It's just another day. Got a secret deep inside. Special lady I'd love to walk by. So beautiful, she makes me sigh almost every single day. Yeah, the sun may shine, the sky may rain. When I'm near you, I feel no pain. Like a sweet cup of honey to my brain. I'd never get the blues. It's the way you walk, it's the way you smile. Makes me wanna walk down that aisle, but you never notice me. So I guess meanwhile, I'll write this little song for you. The many times I've tried to say hello, but we're from different worlds, I know. If only for the chance just to see our friendship grow. But until that moment happens, I just keep on dreaming. The many times I've tried to say hello, but we're from different worlds, I know. If only for the chance just to see our friendship grow. But until that moment happens, I'll just keep on dreaming. Friday night, I'm in the bar, singing songs with my guitar. You're sitting at a table not too far, and I can look at you. Night gets late, light gets dim. There you are going home with him. When tomorrow comes, I'll try again. Sing my little song for you.
Sweet song.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's a nice little song. It kind of came together. I, first got that little progression going, and then the rest of the song kind of fell in line. Okay, second one here is another nice little sweet song. Most of the songs I write, some of them start off really kind of dark and sad, like the ones I write about Bainbridge Island, but they all end up happy. I've said before, it's like a Hallmark movie, Anyway, so this one is called One More Chance. And here we go. Sometimes life will find you, sometimes you'll find life maybe calm and peaceful, maybe full of strife. Can't understand what's going on, feels like everything is wrong, but you gotta take one more turn, one more chance. You may not recognize the song, but get out there and dance. You can't predict the future, why or when or how, but only you can make that difference now. Sometimes peace will find you, sometimes you'll find peace, but anger can define you unless you make it cease. Bad feelings always in the way, black and white can merge to gray, but you gotta take one more turn, one more chance. You may not recognize that song, but get out there and dance. You can't predict the future, why or when or how, but only you can make that difference now. Sometimes love will find you, sometimes you'll find love, but when you're not expecting it, it's a gift from above. It's your special smile I see when you're looking straight at me. So I'm gonna take one more turn, one more chance. I may not recognize that song, but I'm coming out to dance. I can't predict the future, why or when or how, but only we can make that difference now. Yeah, only we can make that difference now.
Great song.
Yay!
Thank you.
Fun
Thank you very
songwriting there, Rich. Very fun.
Very nice, Rich.
So I think, with the first song, like so many musicians, so many human beings have dealt with unrequited love and affection. And, so that was like a song that so many singer-songwriters can imagine themselves in that spot. In there, you said, "A cup of honey to my brain." And, I thought I was the only person on the planet that drank honey by the cup, right? Until you said that.
Well,
I could tell it was a good thing for you.
it's funny how words come together. I mean, we're all again songwriters here, and some people like, where's he here? Steve Anderson. I mean, Steve, I tell you, your words are just fantastic. I mean, they just kind of flow. And for me, it's a little tougher. It goes in kind of spurts, right? And so when I was writing that song, that line just came out, right? A cup of honey to my brain. I'm not sure it means honey on the brain, but anyway, it was sweet. It kind of told the story, so I went with it, right? But every once in a while, a line comes out and it's like, whoa, that's pretty good.
I feel awkward now. I'm still the only person I know that drinks honey by the cup. But
I'm sure there are more like you somewhere.
I have never heard the story about how you discovered the Open Mic America stage, Rich. And I've shared it with you a lot of times, so.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's an interesting story because when the pandemic hit, a buddy of mine, he and his wife put together a virtual open mic, one of the first ones. They used to go to an open mic in Winters. They live in Winters, California. If you've ever been there, it's a kind of neat little town there, kind of north of Sacramento. And so they kept saying, "Come on, you got to get on, you got to get on." And at that time, I had just moved up here to Bainbridge Island. I in the Bay Area, I was in a rock and roll band, and so for me to pick up an acoustic guitar and play some songs, it took a while to get used to it, because it's a lot different, as all of you probably know, and I know now too. Playing in a band and then playing an acoustic guitar solo. Anyway, so I got into that, and then I got invited to do another open mic by a guy who runs it in Maryland. It was a long story. I'm gonna shorten it up right here. And one of the ladies that I met is Diane Battistello. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's been on Open Mic America, and we were talking, just kind of texting each other. And I was asking her if she knew of any others, and she mentioned this one. She said, "But they only do original songs," and I hadn't written a song since like I was in high school. And because I basically did covers in the rock bands, and so I said, that's kind of interesting, and so. I wrote a couple of songs, and then I posted it on YouTube and sent it to, I think probably sent it to Capo Dave, and there it was. I got I lucked out. I snuck in under the wire, and that's I've been coming back and playing ever since, and then. I was asked to join the group, and it's really a pleasure. Doing the MC and the interviewing. So yeah, I mean, it's second home to me.
Well, I'm glad that you connected with her at that, as really is the whole team, because like you say, you've jumped right in and become a part of the fabric of Open Mic America as one who serves. And so I definitely wanted to say thank you for serving the Open Mic America musical community. It's very good to have you on the team. So I had been noticing also that you've been pretty busy for the last year with the Harmony Wombats. And I'm kind of curious. What can you tell us about that project, and where do you see it going?
Oh, we're going to be big. You heard of the Beatles? Well, hey, listen, now you know the Wombats. So, when I moved up here, it was right before COVID, and I met a couple of guys on the island. There, this Bainbridge Island has a lot of retired people, and a lot of retired people who play stringed instruments, and were in bands earlier. And so I met a guy who also actually is playing on Open Mic America, Eric Ackerman, and we got together, and we played some tunes, and then we kind of separated, and then we got back about a year later and started playing together, and our voices go together really well. And so and I've got this ability to harmonize. And so it sounded really great. And so we said, well, hey, why don't we play around the island? I mean, this island has breweries and wineries and, a lot of music venues on this small little island. And so, we came up with the name because we harmonize. A lot of our music has great vocals, harmony. And we had a hard time coming up with the rest of the name. The Harmony Brothers, the Harmony Guys, the Harmony... And it turns out that he actually has an email address that includes the word wombat in it. And I said, well, why don't we just call ourselves the Harmony Wombats? And we thought it was funny. And actually, it's ridiculous. And so people remember it. And we actually have when we play places, we have a tambourine contest where people can actually win a wombat. And then we've got, shirts that have wombats on them. So, where are we going? Well, we're booked up this summer in the area here, and we just want to keep playing, having a lot of fun. We are auditioning. I shouldn't say we're auditioning. We're bringing up to speed a bassist, so we will add stand-up bass, and I don't know. We'll just keep going, making good music, and and making people happy. It's really a lot of fun. As those of us know who also perform in public, and we just sing. We sing all kinds of. It's all covers, and it's stuff that people get up and dance to. It's it's stuff that people sing along with, and a lot of fun.
Well, great. Even though we may not know the songs, we're singing along back here in the background when you're on the Open Mic America stage.
Thank
you
you.
for playing again tonight. We look forward to hearing more from you in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead.
Great. Look
All
forward
right.
to it. Thanks,
Capo
Evan.
Dave Williams, off to you.
Thanks, Evan. And thank you, Rich. And think about maybe bringing Eric on the Open Mic America show. What do you think about doing a duet on the show sometime?
We've thought about that. We may do that in the coming months.
All
Be the
right.
Harmony Wombats of Mike America.
Well, thanks a lot. Now from Saratoga, California, we have Mike Simpson. Take it, Mike.
All right, thank you, Dave. So let's see. I'm spotlighted. I'm ready to go. Here I come. This one's called She Moves. She moves across my field of view, and all around me does not matter anymore. She's just who she is, and as she moves, she carries me along her shore. All she does is grace and light, and she moves it all with her. She shifts along my fault lines, and nothing I can do is stable anymore. Oh, she is just who she is, and as she moves, oh, and as she moves, she carries me along her shore. All she does is grace and light, and she moves it all with her. She moves across my field of view, and all the world around me does not matter anymore. She is just who she is, and as she moves, she carries me along her shore. I am pulled along the shore.
It was lovely.
Very
Good
nice.
song.
Wow.
Now a change of guitars. Go back long enough in guitar selection and you can get back almost to the kind of stuff Capo Dave makes. I might as well take it easy. Don't do much good to take it hard. I might as well take it easy. Don't do much good to take it hard. I've done my share of hard work. Hard work just gets you just so far. I'd like to be one of those languid ladies lying out on a summer afternoon. I could stand to be one of those languid ladies lying out on a summer afternoon. So lazy and so liquid lying there, you'd have to move me with a spoon. Well, someone has to be first, and someone must be last. Must be last. Well, I know someone has to be first, and there's someone must be last. I'd rather move along at my own speed and watch the twitchy ones fly past. Ain't got no high blood pressure, I barely got a pulse. You want some sparks, some smoke and mirrors, then you want somebody else. Well, I might just play it real laid back. I might just play real hard. I might just play it laid back. It's possible I might just play real hard. Go play for a while on that swing my baby got in her backyard.
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it's Blue Mike.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Mike, was that last song one of your own?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No, it wasn't written before 1925, so it had to be one of mine.
You know, as I was listening to the lyrics, I was thinking that the reference to "Gonna Eat Some Worms," I didn't think that song was quite that old, so I figured it was yours. So yeah, that was well executed. When you can take a genre of music that is from an older time and write a song and make it sound like it came from that time, good on you, mate. You did really great for that song. So can you tell us about the nexus of it, the inspiration, and what was the process of writing that one? How did that one come out for Mike Simpson?
Oh well, the emotional core comes out of having worked in the video game industry, where we eat with our young and play with our work, and it's eat. I'm sorry, not eat with, but eat our young, and
Okay.
Just sort of disgusted at how little return I got for the amount of labor I put in, kind of thing. And it's been a few years afterwards getting grumpier and grumpier, and now here I am playing the blues. You got a blue T-shirt on.
I don't know if I should laugh about that or get the blues with you. I mean, yeah, but
Write a
I
song,
mean,
buddy. Write a song.
it's a real story. I can tell it meant everything to you. You did really well on that. When you said you were going to grab another guitar, for some reason, I felt like you were going to grab that telly behind you. It is a little bit more of a challenge to play electrically on the online forums, I have discovered.
It's not that hard, actually. You just have to be careful about getting an appropriate amp. I've got one right down there that I would play the telly on, and I probably will at some future time. That's
Great.
not a Fender, actually. That's a handmade telly by a guy in Los Gatos named Keith Holland.
I was going to ask. It looked like it might be custom made. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to hearing that. I know I've talked to you about the banjo before, and I don't recall you pulling and playing that on Open Mic America.
I don't think I've violated any of the local laws yet on that. Yeah.
So you also have jumped in and been a team player with Open Mic America. How did you find this platform?
Well, Capo Dave and Daphne are both members of an open mic that came out of an open mic I've been going to for about 32 years. So that was just kind of natural that I would hear about it, and then they very kindly allowed me to play.
Okay, so now you've really tickled Evan's brain. So I'm picturing, I know that 32 years ago they didn't have electronic means to do these kind of things. So
No, it was a
in
live.
person.
It was an in-person open mic at a number of different venues that we would play in for a while. Then they'd either go out of business or throw us out, and then we'd have to find another one. But that was called the South Bay Folks Open Mic. The one that Daphne runs now is really the online preservation action for that open mic, and many of the same people are still playing there.
Great. There are silver linings that came from the COVID-19 pandemic, Open Mic America being one of them, and the online music revolution, which has opened up stages to people from all around the world. It really, I enjoy it, and I'm grateful that this came from something that meant so much hurt to the world, and so much goodness comes from this. Thank you for sharing your goodness with us in this, and I'm glad that.
One of the things I like about it, and the reason that even as some people fade off to play the live ones again, I intend to keep doing that forever, is that we have people on there, for example, who are housebound. They simply are incapable of playing a live open mic, but they're fabulous songwriters and that kind of thing, and I want to make sure that all gets preserved.
Absolutely. We are right there with you with that at Influence Music Hall. So, Mike, you froze up a little bit, but your music and your voice are still with us in great form. And we look forward to sharing the stage with you again coming up in the future. Back to you, Capo Dave.
Thanks, Evan. And thank you, Mike. I really like that second song. Really like that one. Very, very cool. As Evan said, it sounded authentic. I thought you had pulled a song out from pre-1925. It sounded like the real deal. I think you really got something there. Anyway, moving right along, Glenn Murshell is raring to go. I can tell he's ready.
Hello, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. Can't forget that, it's an important day. Hardest job on earth, right? So, all right, this first one is a song that I wrote based on the movie Westworld with Yul Brynner. It's called Delos Land. today, waking to a reason in another world. Looking out my door in ancient streets, people of medieval world. The jesters laughed at me, the minstrels sang, the girls cried. What a magic world. The lovely queen was their majestic king, prince of this other world. Welcome to Delos, for the vacation of your life. Call your travel agent, feel young again, put adventure in your life. Boarding the hovercraft across the sand, I'm gazing in towards Roman world. Hand me a sword and robe, I know I'll find the love I seek in this lusty world. The emperor smiles at me, fills his cup, I gladly drink the wine of his world. He bids me into the chamber, the lights are low, the women wait to what a for the vacation of your life. Choose the world you want, leave your problems home, leave them home with your wife. To the frontier town, the gun is at my side, I'm ready for this world. A whiskey in the saloon, I take the girl to my room. This is Western world. There's trouble up ahead, they rob the bank and shoot the guards. What a deadly world. Your Brenner smiles at me to raise his gun, the sheriff falls. What a deadly world. Welcome to Delos, nothing can go wrong. The robots are programmed, they're so young and strong.
Yeah. Wow. Cool.
This next one I wrote, it's a song about getting home safe in a storm. It's off my second album. And it was on a Florida night where everything was all purple in the sky. And so this one's called On the Run. The general motor roars through the night, cutting fog that clings to the earth, like a steel of a surgical knife. Such is my life. Oh, I wonder. I can barely see the dashboard lights soaring through the countryside. I see no billboards, no tourist sites. Such is my life. The engine screams like a horse that's run wild. Machine and man are now is one, getting me home to my like some hell's child. The devil's got me on the run. On the run, on the run, on the run. The night is black as coal ink. Is the day really so far away? No time for fear, I can hardly think, but the Lord shows me the way. Only one thought on my mind as I slow the Oldsmobile down to get home to my lover. Somehow find the devil's got me on the run. On the run, 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 on the run.
Wow.
All right.
That is some great fingering on a 12 string, I'll tell you. That is not easy.
Evan.
Yeah.
Page creeping in. Yes, hello. How are you?
Hi, Glenn.
You know what? Great performers. I loved everybody. It's great. So many different tones and styles. You know, it's all. Always watch different songwriters. You know, no matter what they do, because you feel some inspiration in some way. You know, maybe it's a passage they do and things like that. So.
Right. I'm with you there. And it's great to have you be a part of that. You know, the last time we were together, I pointed out and asked if you had influences from Steve Howe from Yes, and you said yes.
Yeah.
You know, so in the time that since the last time we were together, I watched a tiny stage concert that you did that's out online. And
Yes. Louis Beeler. He's awesome. I love him. Yeah.
I kind of see it as a folk rock opera story. I mean, that tells a story of the evolution of a man. You started off all workaday, you know, average, hardworking, hard playing Joe with "It's Our Pontiac," but by the end of that show, you were singing about heady things that are more centered on the spirit than on the physical. You want to discuss the evolution of the concept of that show for us?
Yeah, I think I can remember all the ones I did on it, but some of the things I tend to write are like Pink Floyd-ish 4 a.m. type stuff, you know, things that come to me. But I try to write on the 12 string. Lately, I've been writing on Stratocaster, you know, just for something different, and just words that come to me. You know, songwriting really doesn't come that easy to me, you know, as some folks. It takes a little bit, so I have to have like set ideas. But so I don't know if you do remember a specific song. I can tell you the evolution of it.
Well, you know, like I say, "It's Our Pontiac" was how you started it.
Yes, that's right. It's a
then
working
it was
man
almost like,
kind of.
and then you had selected songs that just kind of went from being a part of the everyday physical world into the more heady, ethereal, spiritual things in life. And you know, like the last song that you did, you had quite a bit of reference to things that are bigger than us, and the drive to be.
Yeah, on the run, that one. Yeah, that was just you know, it was like a weird night with a weird storm, and just sometimes ideas can come to you in certain situations like that where the sky was all purple, you know, and try to get out your notebook and start jotting things down. So
Yeah.
you throw it away later, you never know. So
Exactly. And you're doing a great job with it. So, you know, this isn't the first time that I've noticed the POWMIA sticker
yeah.
on your guitar. Would you like to talk to us about that display?
Yeah, yeah. My grandpa was a POW captured in Italy, injured by the Germans, and spent 9 months in a POW camp. And I do a lot of veterans things. You know, I don't charge anything like for that, for those type of gigs and things like that. And you know, my dad was American Legion and a VFW commander. He was in the Korean War. So just, you know, it's a shout out to all the vets, and you know, I have a hat as well that I wear sometimes as well. So. I thought I'd throw it on the guitar instead of the guitar case.
You know, that's one of the things I've appreciated about you when I've been able to spend time with you is that you really are when you talk, you know, the songs that you write are creative pieces that you bring to life. And when you talk as a person, you almost always talk more about other people than you do yourself. You're
Yeah, well, I think,
others focused.
yeah, that's kind of weird, but I think, you know, the main thing, the main thing is there is others out there, you know, no matter where they're from or what they look like or what their religion is, that type of thing. But it's all great that we're here together. So I think we need to all work together. And music is really part of that. You know, if you think about it, all the different genres and influences and cultures that we have in there. So yeah, yeah, it's just, you know, I love people. So,
They have done studies where when they have heart monitors on people and breathing monitors, brain monitors, when a group of people are listening to a song, we're all pretty much in unison. I mean, really,
yeah,
music is the thread that weaves us all together, as Dave and
yeah.
Daphne have written into our opening statement. And we're glad that you're weaving your threads into the tapestry of life that we're all enjoying week in, week out. So we look forward to hearing more from you, Glenn.
Thank
It's
you. Thank you very much.
you. And back to you, Capo Dave Williams.
Thanks, Evan, and thank you, Glenn. Your songs, I just was flashing back to the rock opera Tommy and the Who, the energy that you bring. It's got that story that just bigger than a song kind of thing. I think this is L.A. calling for Glenn Murshell. It's Hollywood. Let's go.
Thank you. Yeah, Pete Townshend, was, you know, big influence on rhythm guitar playing. Anyway,
Yeah,
you know,
great stuff.
great rhythm stuff.
Thanks again. And now I've been looking forward to this. Jennifer McQuaid is with us again. Can't wait to hear you, Jennifer. Take it away.
Well, thank you so much. Again, amazing talent. I mean, I could just listen. I don't even have to play. Just enjoying the night here. Anyways, this is a little, the first song I'm going to do. There's a little story behind it. I took a songwriting course a couple of years ago, and some talented people. I don't know if you know Carrie Cole. But anyways, we got a chance to work with some of their writers. And I was lucky enough to co-write a song with Amy Cooney. I don't know if you know who she is. I didn't know. And but anyway, she's written for some, well-known people: Michelle Branch, Kelly Clarkson, Adam Lambert, and she's talented in her own right. But part of the course, you know, like we were just talking just earlier about singing about yourself or talking about yourself. I normally don't do that, but this course kind of brought that out of me a little bit. And, she wanted us to do a song about, impactful moments in our lives. And so this first song is kind of a combination of all those. I've had multiple near-death experiences. So I didn't encapsulate them all in this song, but I put a couple of them in there anyways. But it's called Still Alive. Boy, that was a long intro. Sorry about that. Let's see. When I heard the crackling sound from the other room, I ran towards the light, paralyzed by its view. Flame shot over my head, my heart was overcome. The embers of orange and red telling me to run. They were coming for me, but in my mind I listened to the warning and I survived. Emotions that still haunt me make me wonder why. I think back on those memories. How am I still alive? I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I hit my head in a wild car crash. You came out of nowhere, here comes the broken glass. Flying charts of foolish games, when I was young we used to play. Memories that stick with me, even to this day. A friend at the wheel, going faster than a train. Well, he did not slow down, and here comes the pain. Emotions that still haunt me make me wonder why. I think back on those memories. How am I still alive? I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Emotions that still haunt me make me wonder why. I think back on those memories. How am I still alive? I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much. This next song, oh, by the way, Happy Mother's Day. And, but this next song, you know, I wrote this probably about 10 years ago, and I had a friend, you know, she was involved with some domestic abuse and whatnot. And then an incident came up, and they were doing a benefit CD. And so I submitted this song, and it ended up being on that compilation, going to benefit domestic violence victims. And anyways, this is called Walk Away. Haven't done it in a while, so hopefully it'll come out all right. How can I make you see that he's no good for you? When I see that pain in your face and all your black and blues, it's gonna take a lot from you to walk away from it all. Gather your strength, just prevent that fall. It must be hard to walk away. It's gotta be better than the life you live today. Hold on tight and know that a friend is near. Oh. You must find the courage, take a leap of faith, jump over that fence to a much better place. Get as far away as you can from the prison of this mind. There's a life that's so much better if you make a stand. Just walk away, don't look back. Believe in yourself, you don't need his attacks. Just be strong and trust in yourself. And know that I'll be there should you need a friend who cares. I'll be there for you. I wish that I could make him see the pain he inflicts on you. And one day I hope he gets all that he is due. 'Cause it must be hard to walk away. It's gotta be better than the life you live today. Hold on tight and know that a friend is near. And know that I'll be there should you need a friend who cares. I'll be there for you. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Evan.
I dropped my pick during that.
I noticed that. Yeah, but you know, it was barely perceptible. You kept going, and that's good.
That the show must go on.
Remember the days when we were first beginning, and if you made a mistake like that, you know, it was like, oh, hey, let me start over.
Right.
I remember. It's been some time, but I remember those moments, and it's wonderful to be able to keep going. You know,
Just keep going. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you know, Jennifer, I noticed behind you the reel-to-reel. Do you use that?
You know, it's funny. I used it quite a bit, and I have tons of reel-to-reels there. But the tape got very expensive and very hard to find.
Yes.
I can still buy it, but a lot of it is refurbished.
Uh-huh.
It's very hard to find brand new.
Yes.
So that forced me to look for another thing, and of course I'm old school, but it forced me online here, and I found this free program, Audacity, and I
Right.
haven't looked back since. I
Yeah.
haven't touched that thing in about 2.5 years.
So, as I was looking at that in the studio, I see the actual real fireplace, not a gas fireplace, and
Right.
having had grown up, that way, I know the soot that's involved, and of course, my parents were cigarette smokers, and then I think I was 10 when I took up smoking as well. And so, I mean, yeah, our tapes, it's no wonder they haven't survived, because back then that was just a complete way of life, and it was hard on our tube amps, everything. So, and speaking of that, that kind of was a segue for me to ask you, in a bio that I found that you had put out there, you said that you're one of those home recording writers. And I have to say that what appears to me to be your most recent release, One Way Street,
Yeah.
that's really quite a production for a home recording. Can you talk to us about that song and production?
Um, well, I mean, all I can do is kind of tell you the process.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, I love a live band, but a lot of times that we were talking about this the last time, and how do you create a song? Well, you're looking for a different sound. Well, a different sound can mean a different chord. It could mean a different tempo. It could just be different instruments. I mean, but you're looking for something different. That particular song, I heard a wonderful drum beat, and so I took that drum beat and just started off, with the guitar, and then, like I always do, I want to add my bass. I played a lot of years on the bass, so those two kind of walk hand in hand with each other. And then I believe I added a little bit of keyboards and
Mhm.
a little electric guitar to it, but it just grows. I
Mhm.
mean, it starts off very small and light and acoustic, and then I'm like, maybe this could just, yeah, let me beef it up here, and it's fun. I mean, I love doing that. I like taking, something so light and then filling it all up. Now, that being said, I would prefer to have a band doing all that, you know. But where it's so hard to get the right people and the
Mhm.
band over, it's kind of left up to me. So I do that with a lot of my recordings. I take them full circle, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it probably detracts from me writing more songs, because I'll spend so much time on them, trying to
Right.
trying to produce them and whatnot. And so,
Ha-
um, go ahead.
Having heard that production, I can see why you would say that. I mean, the amount of time that was probably put into that. So for the rest of you watching online, and those of us that are here on the OMA stage, if you take the time to listen to Jennifer McQuaid's recent release, One Way Street, the production is really quite good, and it is very rich. There's a lot of parts that are in there, enough that I had to wonder if it was just one person in the studio. And as it turns out, it was. Good job.
Well,
Wonderful,
thank you.
wonderful
Wow, that's
production. Great
awesome.
song.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
so we're glad you made it back. Just like Dave said, we're glad to have you back on the stage. Look forward to hearing more from you in the future. And thank you for sharing tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me. Wonderful talent tonight. I enjoyed it.
As always, Capo Dave puts together quite a show. And so, speaking of Capo Dave Williams, back to you for the close, my friend.
Thank you, Evan, and thank you, Jennifer. You always bring the real stuff. Wow, I love your songs. Love just the power you sing.
Thank you, Dave.
It sounds like hit songs. I mean, it really does. Really terrific stuff. Well, we've come to the end of the night. I want to thank our interview host, Evan, and I want to thank our engineers, Penny and Rob, and our musicians tonight. I'm going to read their names. Give us a little wave as I go through you. Gillis Mills from Grafton, Vermont. Aniwa Ferrari from Olympia, Washington. Steve Anderson from Alameda, California. Brian Eyre from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. Rich Fassler from Bainbridge Island, where the sun is shining miraculously, Washington. Mike Simpson from down in sunny Saratoga, California. Glenn Murshell, Monroe, North Carolina. And Jennifer McQuaid, Auburn, Maine. Always wonderful. So we thank you for watching, and go to our website and you'll find all the local open mics that these folks play from. And you'll also, if you click on the performers section, you can actually winnow it out and find all the past performances of these open mics. We have the tapes of the shows. You'll see who's on the shows. And if you would like to be on Open Mic America, any of you watching, go to the website openmicamerica.com, click on performers, and then click on the link how it works, and that's where it starts. So I guess that's it for tonight. Another wrap. I'm going to say good night. I'm going to
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.